Today, we're going to go over a massive situation that is actively unfolding regarding how Roblox has just recently lost over $35 million in a span of roughly a single week. We're going to look into how multiple new state settlements are forcing the gaming platform to fundamentally change how privacy and user safety operate on a completely different scale. And we have brand new reports detailing how states like Alabama and West Virginia are demanding massive payouts alongside extreme platform changes that will completely reshape the player experience. We will also dive into the reality of unencrypted communications being mandated for young users and how a specific legal clause ensures that these incredibly strict changes will permanently alter the entire platform for every single player in the United States. So without further ado, make sure to like and hype this video and help me reach over 20,000 subscribers, and let's get into it. Now to begin, we have to look back at the context surrounding this entire ordeal that I covered in my previous video to understand how we even got to this massive breaking point. So back on April 15th, we received news that Roblox reached a $12 million settlement with the state of Nevada. As a direct result of that specific lawsuit, Roblox is now being forced to implement mandatory age verification and very invasive facial age recognition technology across the platform. This completely terrified the developer community because requiring players to scan their faces to play certain games or access specific chat features is going to severely damage player retention. Furthermore, the Nevada situation introduced rules where users under the age of 16 are completely segregated from older players. We already knew the single state lawsuit would be applied nationwide because corporate engineering teams find it much easier to overhaul the entire system rather than applying rules to just one state. But things have taken an even more drastic turn because the intense legal pressure did not stop with Nevada. On April 21st, 2026, a massive news update dropped from the Twitter account Blox Media, in which they posted an update revealing that Roblox has reached two brand new massive settlements regarding user safety. They officially reached an $11 million settlement with West Virginia and a $12.2 million settlement with Alabama. This confirms that the legal floodgates have been completely opened, and Roblox is bleeding tens of billions of dollars to these states in a matter of days, and it all goes to show that state governments are actively coordinating to completely dismantle the historical safety design of the platform. So we're going to look specifically at the Alabama settlement first because the details provided by Attorney General Steve Marshall are incredibly revealing. Marshall announced that they secured a $12.2 million settlement that will go directly toward funding school resource officers across the state through their Safe School initiative. It is very interesting to see how these states are extracting millions from a massive digital gaming platform and injecting those funds directly into local school security programs to bridge the gap between digital harm and physical real-world consequences. But what makes the Alabama situation so unique is how the legal process was actually handled behind closed doors. The Attorney General stated that this case was handled completely internally by his office. Because they did not use any outside legal firms, the state of Alabama gets to keep 100% of the funds secured by the settlement. This means that every single penny of the $12 million is being ripped directly from the corporate accounts of Roblox and handed straight to the state government. But the massive financial penalty is quite literally just the beginning because the platform changes demanded by Alabama are incredibly strict and invasive. According to official agreement, Roblox is mandated to use behavioral monitoring to identify users who might have somehow bypassed the system. The level of corporate surveillance it requires to actively monitor player behavior just to guess your real age is a massive shift in how the platform treats its player base, and it's completely unprecedented. Imagine just playing a simple multiplayer game and a platform is actively analyzing your specific behavior patterns just to verify if you lied about your age on your profile. The absolute most concerning part of the Alabama settlement revolves around user privacy. The agreement specifically states that Roblox would not allow communication involving kids to be encrypted in any capacity. This is an absolutely massive change to digital privacy that affects millions of younger players every single day. The reasoning provided by the state for this complete lack of encryption is that it allows law enforcement to easily combat illegal networks and the distribution of illegal content. While the intention is clearly focused on protecting users, it fundamentally means that every single message sent by a kid is completely unencrypted and fully accessible at all times. This effectively strips away any reasonable expectation of privacy from younger players simply trying to talk with their friends. Furthermore, Alabama secured a very specific legal provision in their agreement called the Most Favored Nation Clause. This specific legal clause ensures that Alabama is legally entitled to any improved terms that Roblox might agree to with any other state in the future. This essentially means that the platform is completely trapped by these expanding regulations. If another state suits them next week and forces even stricter safety rules or financial terms, Alabama automatically gets to enforce those exact same rules on their end without having to file another massive lawsuit. Now moving over to the second massive development, we have to deeply look at what happened with the state of West Virginia on the exact same day. They also reached a massive settlement totaling $11,080,000, which will be officially paid out over several years. The intensive investigation for West Virginia claimed that the historical safety design of Roblox allowed kids to be exposed to inappropriate behavior and suggestive content, which put every single kid on the platform at a massive and unacceptable risk. Just like Alabama, they're taking this massive pile of money and putting it straight into state-funded programs to aggressively combat these ongoing issues. They are allocating exactly $500,000 for safety education workshops specifically targeted for parents and children throughout the state. They are also spending $1.5 million on a 3-year public safety campaign to spread internet safety awareness and dedicating $2.4 million over the course of 6 years to completely fund a dedicated internet safety specialist. The platform changes officially required by West Virginia are incredibly aggressive and will completely alter how players interact on a daily basis. Under this binding settlement, Roblox must completely verify the age of all users before granting them any chat access at all. They are legally required to completely block all chat features until the age verification process is fully and entirely complete. This drastic and extreme measure is intended to completely eliminate the anonymous accounts that bad actors constantly use to target younger audiences on a website. This means that if you refuse to hand over your facial scan or your government ID, you'll be completely silenced on the platform without any ability to communicate with anyone. They are also enforcing incredibly strict barriers on who can actually talk to who within the game servers. The new strict rules completely restrict adults from contacting any users under the age of 16 unless they are communicating directly through verified trusted friends. On top of that, the platform must alert kids the very first time they ever enter a private chat so they know exactly how to communicate safely and understand the risks. When it absolutely comes to the actual games people are allowed to play, the massive restrictions are incredibly damaging to the open sandbox experience. Roblox must now legally default all users under 16 and all unverified users to a strict safe content mode. This mode will practically block any adult-rated material from even appearing on their screens, but it will completely lock younger and unverified players out of experiencing a massive variety of content made by actual developers that built the platform in the first place. Finally, Roblox is required to dedicate a specific internet safety specialist based in West Virginia to coordinate directly with their state law enforcement and conduct ongoing training to ensure these extremely strict rules are heavily followed. When you take a step back and deeply think about the massive implications of all these settlements and the most favored nation clause, you quickly realize that the corporate legal teams at Roblox are fighting a completely losing battle against these states, because every time they legally settle with a brand new state, they are absolutely forced to apply the most strict rules universally across the entire board for every single player. They are no longer in control of their own platform features because the state governments are essentially dictating how the chat systems function and exactly what kind of government ID players have to forcefully upload just to play a simple Lego game, and it completely changed the entire dynamic of how games on Roblox are legally allowed to operate. The most terrifying part of this entire unfolding situation is the mandated behavioral monitoring and the completely unencrypted chats. We are looking at a pretty dystopian future where the platform actively tracks your specific in-game behavior to accurately guess your age while simultaneously leaving your private personal messages completely unencrypted for law enforcement to monitor at any given time. And it all shows a whole story of how state governments are aggressively demanding financial payouts and total platform overhauls that force wealthy companies to take responsibility for the massive communities they have built over the years. So all in all, it's pretty clear that the intense legal pressure from these states is completely rewriting the permanent rulebook for digital safety on a massive scale. This entire $35 million ordeal should serve as a massive wake-up call for every single user on the platform, because the era of jumping into random servers without any severe surveillance or extreme chat segregation is literally over. While I completely understand the absolute necessity to lock down inappropriate behavior and protect kids, these overreaching regulations feel incredibly destructive to the core social fabric that made Roblox special. I personally think handing over unencrypted chat logs and forcing facial scans on millions of young players is a massive overcorrection that sacrifices basic digital privacy. But anyways, with that being said, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.